Hey there, good morning. So this one has sort of some dumb programming going on behind the scenes. So it should take the decimal and it didn't. And I can show you the answer here. You would have got negative 27 over 4. And negative 27 over 4 is absolutely negative 6.75. So whoever programmed it should have programmed it to take that, and they didn't. The reason they didn't is because a bunch of versions of this question is like, instead of 3/4, the slope is like 1/3 or 2/3. And if this is thirds, then this would be an exact number. And if you try to do the decimal, you end up rounding it. And so that's what they're trying to head off, is those rounding errors. But when it's fourths, they should have made that where it takes that version of the answer. So anyhow, I fixed the credit on that, so that is squared away. If this was a test or something, I would totally take the decimal because this is absolutely correct. But you do have to be careful with the fractions when they're something that you have to round to, and you turn it into an approximation when you change to a decimal. That will always be an issue with the computer. That said, this one shouldn't be, but it was, so there's the credit fixed. In terms of getting this graphed, so if we're going to kind of use our standard version of using the intercept and the slope, that would be really hard on this. I don't think it will even let me. No, it won't even let me graph in between the integers on that. So I wouldn't try to graph that. The much easier way to do it is right up here where they gave us this point and this slope. We know our line goes through -5, -3, so I can come over here and go x is -5 and y is -3, and use that as my starting point instead of the y-intercept. Nothing special about the y-intercept, it's just often convenient, but in this case it's kind of inconvenient because it's a hard number. And then with our slope, I always apply, if there's a negative, I put it with the numerator, so I'm going to go up if it's positive and down if it's negative. And for the run, I always work left to right, just by preference. So our run is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and our rise is -3, so 1, 2, 3. And we throw our second point down, and then there's our line. And we can see it's totally going through -6.75 right there. Again, that's hard to graph, so much easier to use that -5, -3. Sorry about this little bit up here. I wish I could change it in the computer, but I've got the credit fixed for you down there. Holler if you have any more questions on that.